And welcome to MLG's ProScrims tonight. I'm Mr. X, and I'm being joined by Doc Curry, all the way from the it's at the AU, the Australians. What's going on, man?
It's alright right now. It's lunchtime, so I'm missing out on my lunch, so a little bit disappointed. But
For good reason, though.
What series? Yeah, it's a good reason. The series which is about to go down. Oh, I tell you what, it is absolutely perfection. Two teams. They've been at it ever since Call of Duty Ghosts first came out. They came face to face in the final of the 2K series, which was just I'm not too sure how long ago it was, but it was
Sunday.
Relatively recently. Sunday, actually. That's
yeah, it
how
was Sunday's 2K.
It is, of course. 2K, and it was such a close game. Of course, it is Team Kaliber up against Curse Las Vegas.
Yeah, and both of these teams, obviously earlier in the week, Curse Las Vegas picking up Killa again. They were trying to get that impact thing. And then
the Impact Squad.
Yeah, they're trying to recapture that magic from the Impact Squad. And then also you obviously have TK. Tuesday was a crazy day for roster changes, as everybody knows. And now you have TK playing with Clayster. Clayster, can't say anything bad about him. Just an amazing player. It's going to be interesting to see how they fit together so quickly. I believe they only decided to pick him up yesterday, so it's going to be very interesting tonight. Once this game starts, it looks like the first map's going to be Sovereign Domination. So I'm actually pumped up to see this series.
I really am too. After the 2K series and seeing all the roster changes that have been going on, it's I've been expecting it. When I found out that these two teams were going to be on the ProScrims, I was like, yeah, I can't wait to watch it. And then I found out it's going to be Casty. I was like, oh, this is a dream come true.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be really interested, but mainly, as you said, the roster changes. Clayster, the new pickup for Team Kaliber, is going to be interesting because he's one of those unique players that can make teams so much more better and win maps.
Right. Clayster just brings a ton to any team. He brings just amazing skill. Search and destroy is extremely good, and also he just brings a ton of hype. Hype's not really that much of a difference on lines. You're sitting at home, you can't really just go crazy, but he brings a ton to a team, and especially with all the winning experience with complexity, he brings a lot of that championship experience to TK that they might have been missing with Goonjar. But it's interesting. Goonjar was a very aggressive player. Clayster is a very passive player, so it'll be interesting to see how that molds in with them tonight.
It'll be interesting. You got Killer, he brings the hype for the Las Vegas team. You got Clayster, one of the most energetic players. You just watch the MLG Columbus. He's on the main stage going absolutely up, and he does bring the hype. And I can see a little bit of a battle going on this series between Clayster and Killer, so he can shut out the other one more of a sense and, give their own team some support. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be domination, Sovereign, as you said.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I haven't seen these two teams play. So do you have, any background knowledge on them?
Yeah, I've seen Curse Las Vegas play.
Sovereign, yeah.
I've seen. I believe this was actually one of the maps they played in the 2K. And who do you want? Well, first let's start off. Who do you want to jump on with first? Because the game's about to start, and you want to watch TK with Clayster, or you want to watch this kind of Impact plus Nameless?
I kind of want to see Killer, the new pickup for the Las Vegas. I want to see what he can bring, what he can do straight off the bat. And he's really just one of those dominant submachine gun players. And as I said before, if he goes off, he just brings hype, and he's almost impossible to beat. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play it too, because Sovereign, of course, is one of those box maps. It's almost treated like a rectangle. You got those flags, in the middle and the two corners. And I have seen, as the game has been progressing, a lot more spawn traps have been going on, and teams starting to get a better grip, better understanding, and putting those spawns to benefit. So I want to see what he can do straight off the bat. He's going for that rush route. I love it, straight down the bottom of the middle of the map.
Yeah, and right now he's really just going to make a strong play on C, and we see a lot of teams starting to do this now, where instead of going straight for that B flag at the beginning, they're going to put a lot of pressure on the other team's flag. And right there you see Killa picking up 2 huge kills right off the bat, and he is one of, if not my favorite player to watch at LAN. He is so intense, and he cares so much about winning, and I just love that about Killa.
The passion is real with Killer, and he's giving his team such a start. Look at him just going absolutely off. 4 kills to his name, will switch it up to his teammate Nameless, who was a little bit defensive, and he actually helped his team cap that B flag straight off the bat. Of course, he jumped on it, was Parasite, and he just had Killer just going absolutely ham straight off the bat. And this is exactly what Curse needed. They've got some early points on the board, they've got a little bit of a lead, but just as I say that, Team Kaliber switching it up, and now they have control of that B flag.
Right, you know, right there you saw something interesting. It's out of actually out of Curse Las Vegas. They're kind of just set up in how they're running this map, where they're running 2 ARs and they're running 2 just submachine gun players. And a lot of teams you see are really just opting more towards 3 subs and 1 AR. So that's something to look out for. And right now I'm on board with Miracles, because he's the player for me that if Curse Las Vegas is going to be the team that they want to be or they think they can be, it's going to be Miracles who's going to have to really just step up and just take that. I think he is going to be more of what they're missing from when they had Karma than Nameless will be.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. As we said, you know, the almost dream team of Call of Duty. Past champions, they won Call of Duty champions, 3 out of 4 of them. Of course, if they had Karma, it'd be very interesting. But of course, he is now on Complexity. He took over Clayster, who's now on TK. The roster changes that have been going on in the past week have been so intense. But as I look at the scoreboard, I noticed TK, they do have a little bit of a hefty lead. You know, it's always good to have some extra points under the belt. But as I say that Curse, they're not going down without kicking. And they just keep switching over that B flag. Neither team really have too much control. And going back to what you were saying about how Curse, they got that 2 AR, 2 submachine gun combination. Obviously, they don't want to play too aggressively. You know, I've seen teams, you know, rock 4 submachine guns on this map, and it can be done. It's just one of those maps where anything and everything can work so long as you have a legitimate strategy for it. And at this stage, I'm just seeing Curse play a lot more defensively, but TK are just countering it absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, and you know, if you actually just check out the scoreboard for a second, I mean, you have Kill at 10 and 7, Nameless at 9 and 7 actually, and Parasite at 6 and 4. So you're getting pretty decent slaying. You're actually outslaying the other team, but you're down right now, and I think they're just playing at a little bit too slow of a pace for my liking. I think either Nameless or Parasite right here are just gonna have to switch to a sub, which I mean, as I'm saying, Parasite actually switches to a sub. So I really like this play, but it looks like that. From the TK side, that Clayster is running a sub, which is something that when he was with us on Blitz, he liked to run a sub, and it's going to be interesting if they're going to let him run a sub full time on Respawn.
It'll be interesting because, as you said, he's only been in the team for less than a day, and his role in general hasn't been fully sorted out. But definitely, the Curse team, they need to switch something up. They are down by nearly 11 points, which it doesn't seem like much on paper, but in domination where every single point counts, it could be an absolute game change. You know, I've seen games come down to the wire to mere seconds in the final 10 seconds, and that could happen legitimately here, as it's less than a minute left in this first half. And TK, as I'm looking at the kill feed, they are just lighting it up right now, and they're completely shutting out the Curse team.
Yeah, I mean, TK is pretty much just taking over the slaying department. They have a pretty good setup. That you saw Neslo picking up 2 kills on your screen right there from on the green side. And, you know, they have Sharp up top just watching that A pretty much dominating with an AR up top control. And if I'm Curse right now, I just have to really just push through green side and just force Sharp out of top control by making him jump down and make a play on B.
Oh, definitely. But I'm looking at the scoreboard too. Killer, he's doing all right in the slaying department. He's 13 for 12, but is definitely not where he wants to be. You know, he wants to be dropping those huge numbers, those huge kills, get his team some heart, get them going. But he's just not doing that right now. As Curse, with 30 seconds left, they're making a bit of a push to this B flag, and it's a little bit too late for them as they are down by 20 seconds. So they're going to have a mountain to climb coming into the second round, Mr. X. And they just got to almost just lift it together as a team, use their heads, and they need to switch up their strategy because this 2 AR combination, it isn't working for them at all.
Yeah, you know, I think the second round, you're definitely going to see them just probably come out with 3 subs. That would probably be my guess. You're going to see them make a strong play for the other team's home flag. But it looks like Curse is actually going to lose this to TK. I believe the final score is 95 to 74. So, I mean, that's not too bad of a deficit. It's not impossible to overcome. And one thing I want to point out is tonight we're testing out some new rules, just changing a few settings up. Tonight we are banning the Danger Close perk, I believe. We're banning Danger Close. We're getting rid of the ghillie suit. And also we are removing the tracker sight. So for tonight we're going to test these out, see how the players like it, and just move forward with it. I think that's probably To be honest, in my opinion, I think that's probably will make the game better to watch. I've seen a lot of just players just sitting in nade spots with ghillie suits, just looking in the sky. I don't like it. I don't think anybody really wants to watch that either, so I think we're going to try this out for tonight and see how it goes.
It'll be interesting. In the Australian community, especially when Ghost came out straight away, everyone was running ghillie suits. And if you looked at what was happening, especially from a caster's point, it just looked like a bunch of dead bushes running around the map and dropping like flies. And it was quite interesting because the ghillie suit, especially, is it the Ignog, the one, I hope I'm saying that right, the perk which makes you almost invisible, like...
Incognito.
From Black Ops 2?
Yeah, it's Incognito, yeah.
Oh, if you have that with a ghillie suit, you are a snake in the grass.
Yeah.
And I've seen actual players use that, especially with smoke. And a good example, maybe if we see Octane later on in the night, lots of smoke on that map with some ghillie suits. Well, they're banned for tonight, and it's absolutely disgusting. It's one of the most OP things I've seen, especially for Outghost. So I'm glad it's banned for the night. I really would like to see how these players kind of adapt to being, open.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's the best to just create constant action. I mean, with the ghillie suit, the ghillie suit really doesn't take away from the action. It just makes it like a little difficult to see. I mean, it's just promotes just kind of camping. And then at the same time, Danger Close pretty much does the same thing. And I think the problem with Danger Close is that Blast Shield doesn't counter it. So as in Black Ops 2, where you had grenades and Flak Jacket countered it easily, you were able to eat a grenade or take some damage, not really affect you too much. The Danger Close perk pretty much just negates Blast Shield, so there really isn't a counter for it. So, I mean, you do see a lot of players who are running double nades with Danger Close, and it was just becoming way too campy for pretty much everybody's liking. It was just guys finding grenade spots, staring in the sky, waiting for somebody to take B and just chugging stuff. But, our game's about to start right now. Do you want to go on board with TK this half?
I definitely think we should. And, do you want to get on board with Clayster straight off the bat?
Yeah, let's get on board with Clayster,
when he's on. We'll see what he's rocking. I want to see how he's actually playing this right now. And if I can quickly switch on board with him, he's actually got the AR out. So he switched it up from what he had last round.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Clayster is just one of the best ARs in Call of Duty. He's extremely consistent, and it's interesting. He plays his role a little more passive. I mean, right there we have Miracles leave the game, so that little start right there is pretty delayed. I mean, it might be something to do with internet. I mean, we don't know. There are always problems with the internet. I like Parasite's got this Christmas camo. I haven't been able to download this at home yet. I think they released the Christmas camo today, and then I believe you're also able to change Riley the dog to a wolf now.
Who doesn't want a wolf running around with you in pubs, just eating people? That's pretty cool in my opinion.
Yeah, they should have changed it to more of like a robot, a little like almost like what was that guy from Star Wars?
Like
I don't really watch Star Wars, but
yeah. You're trying to get like a robot?
The guy from Star Wars, just let him run around, just laser people. That would have been cool. Or just like poke him with his thing. I would have liked that. The wolf was cool. I haven't seen it in game. Obviously, we banned Riley the dog here in competitive play. We can't have Riley going huge on the main stage picking up kills. We wouldn't. It wouldn't be. There would be some issues with that from a lot of people.
Absolutely. I think I compare Riley to Commando from Modern Warfare 2.
Right.
Like, you hate it when it's used on you, but whenever you're using it, you're like, nah,
it's so annoying. I'll tell you the part that's really annoying. And I mean, it doesn't really happen to me often. I might not notice it, but it happens to a lot of people when I'll get a dog and I'll die and I'll spawn cross map and the dog literally runs across the map taking everything out in sight. That's not... Yeah.
That's never happened to me.
Somebody's got to look into that.
Someone that's for you, Infinity Ward. It's been called.
Yeah.
All right.
The dog.
Bang.
Fix the
We're
dog.
calling it. The dog.
I actually want to see what the wolf looks like. It's very interesting to me. I don't know. Do they even let you see it from this menu? Let me see. No.
I think it's in like the nah. Damn. It is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. The actual it's from the campaign actually in one of the missions, and I have played a little bit through the campaign. Like, who buys Call of Duty for the campaign? I know, but yeah, I did play it for a little bit, and they look pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I saw one of those running at me, might have to change my undies.
I think that's going to be a purchase I'm going to make when I go home. I think you just sold me on the fact that I'm going to go buy this wolf. So it looks like we're back in the game right now, and we're going to be going on with TK. We want to sit on board with Clayster again. New edition. Goonjar leaves TK for Envy. Later, we'll actually be seeing Complexity against Envy after this series, which will definitely very, very contested series. I mean, definitely some blood there between Karma and the Envy guys. But right now, we're on board with Clayster. New pickup of TK. And what do you think about this pickup for TK?
You know what? I quite like it. I'm a little bit, disappointed that Neslo actually, not Neslo, what am I on about? Oh no, I completely forgot his name.
Goonjar.
He was just at left. It was Goonjar. I can't believe I forgot that. But I was a little bit disappointed that he actually left Team Kaliber, and I remember listening to one of Sharp's commentaries, and he was saying how when Kaliber first formed as a team, they wanted it to stay for the long haul, and that's something I really wanted to see too. So I was a little bit disappointed to see him leave, but the pickup that they got from it, they honestly, picking up Clayster, I'm like, you know what, yeah, that's fine,
Yeah.
Anyone, I would have been like, not too sure, but he's the one player I really do feel that could have actually, swapped out for Goonjar.
Right, and I mean, you can't say, I mean, it stinks that they lose Goonjar, but, I mean, like we were saying, Clayster is just absolutely amazing. It'll be interesting, though, that TK, they were really built on their teamwork. That's what really got them to where they are. They're strong players individually, but they had amazing teamwork. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, our next event is a month pretty much in Philadelphia for UMG. It'll be interesting to see if they can form that same chemistry in such a short period of time with Clayster.
Absolutely. And Clayster, from what I've seen, I've watched his streams, watched some of his videos a few times. He seems like a very likable character. Or innocent, after listening to what, the Complexity guy said, how he didn't mold very well as a team, I kind of have different opinions on that. I'm not going to bring it up because it's just going to create an argument. But I think, with how young some of the players in TK are and how long some of them have been in the competitive scene, and an example would be Sharp. He's been around since the COD 4 days. He definitely mold in there quite well. I feel like he'd be able to connect with them and really just know his role straight off the bat. And I think we're actually seeing that right now. As TK, they're still in control. You got to remember, they do have that 20 seconds plus from the previous round that we've seen. So with the extra 10 seconds, they're up by 30 and in complete control of this map.
Yeah, and I mean, they're just dominating Curse Las Vegas right now in this map. That's really the only thing you can say. And if you're Curse Las Vegas with 2 minutes to go, you gotta make a strong push towards B, and then I think you really need to neutralize A. And TK just, like you were saying before, I think Sharp is definitely gonna be a big part of just making this roster change work. He has a ton of leadership and ton of experience in just video games in general, and I think he's really gonna be the glue that's gonna keep this team together for the long haul.
Absolutely, and it's actually starting to happen right now. TK, they're walking away with this one, and if my maths is actually on par, it's going to be nearly mathematically impossible for Curse to get back into this. They only got about a window of 30 seconds for opportunity to happen right now, but you look at the minimap in your top left-hand section, and the TK, they're just patrolling that beat. Like, they know Curse have to make a play now, so all they got to do is just play a little bit of defense. And I'm on board with Fury right now. He's actually doing a little bit of a sneaky role. He's got behind enemy line, cleaning up players, and I'm almost safe to say right now, TK, they got this one in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, TK, they won the first half by, I believe it was 21 points, 95-74. So this Curse is really going to need to make a play for this B flag right now if they're going to even make this a close game, down by 20 with a minute 25. And, I did love that play from Theory. He was able to get behind enemy lines and spawn kill. And we actually saw Clayster doing that from the other side. So, there's some teamwork here between these guys. And that would be great if these guys can mold. Because obviously I'm on Complexity. I love the TK Complexity rivalry. And I think with the recent team changes and everything that went on, I mean, it would be great to see another final between these two teams.
Oh, absolutely. TK, they've placed, it was top 4 out of their past 4 events or something like that. They're one of those top teams. They've always been around since they started forming, and they've just been proving themselves. They don't come to an event just to, have fun and joke around. No, they come there to place, first, second, third, and they do that. They're very consistent with their placing, and they're proving it right now. Everyone from Curse Las Vegas stuck in the spawns. That was a 4 down just then. So TK showing extreme dominance. And you got to think, we did mention at the start the hype factor that, Clayster brings and the counteract which he needs to do to Killer. Killer is 7 for 17 right now. That is something you don't get to say too often. So you got to think, a Curse, kind of got their heads down a little. They, down in the dumps because TK are just almost destroying them right now.
Yeah, and I see 2 players from Curse actually leave the game So, I mean, obviously TK won this one. The game didn't end. I mean, the game didn't just run towards the time, but, I mean, we're giving this one to TK, obviously. And it's just a very dominating, convincing performance from TK. And like you were saying, you know, Killa, I believe, was 7-17. And that's just more of a product of they're having to push, they're having to be super aggressive. And, I mean, TK played that perfectly. They played it a little bit more passive. I believe they had 2 ARs. You had Kaliber and Sharp running 2 ARs. So they pretty much just kind of fell into that trap. And they really just dominated that second half.
It really was domination. Curse, they only touched that B flag like once or twice, and they weren't even able to capture it. That just shows how strong TK were, and you know a little bit more of a background on them. If you were to, you know, give TK's most dominant game mode, would you say it would be domination?
You know, I would say TK's most dominant game mode now is going to be Search. They do get, I think, better on respawn, because I think adding Kaliber definitely gives them more slaying power, which is kind of what they needed. I mean, obviously, you probably wouldn't have traded Goonjar for that slaying power, but you do get more slaying power with Kaliber. And Kaliber is a very good sniper on Search and Destroy, so I think they will be a very good team on that. The game mode that'll be interesting for them will be Blitz. That's where they're really going to need to... That's because, you know, a lot of people kind of just forget about that game mode, and it's only one game in a series, but it's important, like, if you can get a 2-0 lead, to just put a team away on that third game. You don't want to go to a fourth game, because then a fourth game, Dom is usually pretty close between these top teams, so it could lead to a fifth game pretty easily in those situations you don't want to get into.
Yeah, you do say it could lead to the fifth, but after TK just absolutely dominated that domination, putting the name of the game mode to work there. But they, you know, if it does go to map 4, if I was in their situation, I'd be a little bit confident. But Search and Destroy, completely different game mode. Of course, there's you only get 1 life per round. And TK, you said they were a Search team. In my opinion, from what I've seen, I'm not, you know, too much into the American scene, and unfortunately, due to the time zone difference. I'd always say they were more. It's the time difference is brutal. I'll say goodnight to someone, they'll be like, "Oh, what are you on about? It's more." I'm like, "Oh, well, great." It's it does my head in, but I would have said TK were more of a respawn team. You know, I've seen them play Blitz, and I've seen them play Blitz games where they've scored like 20 points against some of these top teams. Just recently, I remember watching. It was actually a pickup. It was a pickup 8, but 3 of the TK players were all on the same team, and they just destroyed in the Blitz. And I would have thought they would have been more dominant in it. So I'm going to be very interested to see how they actually play the Search and Destroy. Yeah,
I mean, their Search game's always been pretty much on par with the top teams. They've been Black Ops 2. They're probably the best Search and Destroy team. And it'll be interesting on Blitz, especially if they can just get that constant aggression and pressure with their new lineup. But we're going to wait for an invite. Next map's going to be Search and Destroy. And when we come back, it's going to be TK against Curse Las Vegas. So me and Doc, just stay tuned.